It's a beautiful place. It's foggy in the morning. It has all of this weather that rolls over it. It's almost ethereal. It's like moving into another world. They gave me goosebumps the first time I saw them.
I think it is the most beautiful primate on the world.
There's tremendous hope that we'll make it in time, that they all won't be gone. I was taking my undergraduates to the zoo, which was one of the fun things we did, and came upon these things that I'd never seen. And it was like, oh, whoa, these are beautiful. My, they're pretty. And I got close to the zoo. Never did much. They did identification of the animals, but nothing much more about them, not what they ate, not where they really came from. So I got real close to this thing, and it said Pygathrix nemeus, which is what they are. And then it said Indochina. And then it said nothing known. I thought, ha, I'm going to become the expert on these. These are beautiful. One of the first papers that I wrote, I was trying to describe just the coloration. There was no way of just using white or red or blue or this or that. I ended up using a soil catalog, because a soil catalog has like hundreds of different blues, hundreds of different reds, because just in their head, they have a band of black here, and then they have chestnut colored. The face is not actually nude, but it's the short little fur. It looked kind of like a plastic toy when I looked at it close up. You can almost always differentiate males from females by the size of the beard. Males, as they get older, you get this great, big, beautiful, wispy beard, sometimes almost looking fuchsia. I'd never seen the gray before. When you look at the gray underneath a microscope, it's not one color. It's three different colors. And then that comes up to this fantastic white cuff that they have. This white cuff changes according to where they're from. The ones that come from Sencha have the biggest cuff from here to the elbow. And when you get down into the body of the Douc, it's gray, and then they get down to the white rump patch, and then they have the upper legs that are black, and then because they're called Red-Shanks, from the knee to the ankle, they're red, or they're chestnut colored, or, again, I had terrible trouble describing what this color was, and then the feet are always black. So I got enough money to go, and Saigon was an armed camp. There were big airline coming back and forth, military guys, guns everywhere. Took a deep breath, found my way to Da Nang. Then there was a guy. I told him my story, and he says, we're really interested in saving the monkeys, and we're glad you've come. We're going to assign you a jeep and a tracker and a colonel to help you on the mountain. And I saw some Doucs, not many, because they also had lots of guard stations in various spots. And these guys never had anything to do except to shoot down into the forest. And so every once in a while, a few bullets would whistle by. It turned out that another month or so, when the consul general said, gotta go, because they were missiling the airport a lot. The strength that they have in their arms is so great, and also the trajectory that they can do with their legs. They can fly 20, 30 feet going straight up or straight across. The first Douc that I saw that was sitting here, and I got close enough, it was like he shot out of a gun. He was diving, hands first, and then they kind of turn and they end up on their feet. They can go great distances, and when you're in Sunshine, what happens is it's really a mountain. And so if you're up here and you find them and they see you, they go jump, 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 and they're down so that it takes an hour or two to even find where they went. In 1993, I wrote to the prominent primatologist there, and he said, "Yes, I'll be happy to help you, and I'll meet you when you get there." So I get all the way over there. Well, he never showed up. And before I was leaving, I had this whole parade of people that were interested in working with me come by and say, maybe we could work together. And one of the people that came by was Tyne. And he said, "I'd be happy to work with you. And I speak pretty good English. And so maybe we could." And long story short, we ended up spending the next umpteen years studying together. Female Doucs probably stay pregnant or have babies 80% of their lives. They have something hanging on them, or they're having it, or they're gestating it all of their lives. And that baby, you can see, that baby hangs on you, pulls your tail, does all kinds of things, and they're so tolerant. But as they're sitting, some females will sit and never hold on to their infants, and other mothers will cradle with one arm or the other. And that's absolutely, as we watch that baby grow up and have a baby, they are the same cradlers or non-cradlers. And in 2006, the FPD of Sunshine called Tyne and said, "Hey, they're just about ready to really start developing this mountain because the primatologist from Da Nang University has said there aren't any Doucs left. And in Vietnam, if there aren't any, you can't develop if there are endangered species." Ha ha ha. So we're really worried that they're gonna start building roads and building whatever's up there. And we know there are Doucs. We just, we don't have enough time to look. So why don't you come? So we did, and found a huge number, at least 170 of them. Biggest group anywhere that you could actually see. And so right then, that was the end of 2006, Tyne and I talked about, well, what are we going to do? I mean, who's going to study these, and how are we going to protect them? So I thought, well, one of my friends had started a foundation, and maybe I could start a foundation.
I'm now working for DNF Field Director, and we work on feeding ecology of ducks. We work on we support and work on law enforcement and hand ranger to improve their skin. We work on environmental education and biodiversity and ducks in Sunshine.
The kids start to play early in life with each other. And the whole group all the kids will play. And you can see them measuring who's the strongest and who's belongs to who and who's top dog and who's not and whatever. And so they learn through this period of play. And you get to play while you're a blackface Douc. And so as they get to about a year old, that starts to drain out. And then you're supposed to act like an adult. And the Intercontinental, they were the ones that snuck in between this period of when the university professor from Da Nang pronounced all Dukes dead, and the People's Committee went, okay, build, and did.
And this is a famous continental resort. Famous because when people made it, there is absolutely no environmental assessment. So the resort destroys a lot of forests. That's very important for the Douc Langur and other animals. Also, the beach is the place for tortoise and turtle to lay eggs. And now no tortoise come anymore. According to a plan of local government, on the land in Sancha that lower than 200 meters at sea level will be used for resort, for entertainment, for hotel. The local government here will make about 3,000 rooms for visitors. And with such large scale of construction like that, on the habitat, on the eating side, on the plant living under 200 meters will be gone. The tree lower than 200 meters is very important for the duck. If the tree in that elevation gone, the duck here also gone.
They eat the teeny weeny baby new leaves. They love, at least that's their major source. And then they go to petioles, which is the thing that attaches the leaf to the stalk. They love those. And they love some fruits, but in such what we would consider an unripe condition. It is their behavior to drop 30% of the food on the ground, even in the forest. But we see with every arboreal animal that they drop a bunch because there's lots of people living on the floor of the forest that are looking up waiting for it. Because when we come back the next day to any of these places, there is not one shred left. And sometimes we have more success than others. And sometimes there's just crushing blows. I mean, we tried really hard to stop the cable car from coming over the top of Sancha from the Intercontinental. Oh, no, we were just thinking about it. It's like, don't even think about it. Are you crazy? Did you ever get a chance to see Bana?
Yeah.
That zoo?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even go there. Can't even go there.
Construction here, not stop, continue. The situation even become worse than Bana. Because Bana is large area, 20,000 hectares. But Sancha only nearly 2,000 of forest left. And the Sancha is very near the city. And the construction continue. A lot of press of people will come and they destroy all Sancha. Not only people but also rabies disease and many other bad from tourism. If continue construction here, for sure no future for Sancha. in developing country like Vietnam, we could not say stop development and only for conservation. It's hard to do like that. Yeah. Not only in Vietnam but other countries too. But in Sơn Trà, it's very sensitive. You need to do the environmental assessment before any construction. You can make small hotel in where that did not disturb the duck, did not destroy the forest, especially did not kill or cut the food plant of the duck.
Sunshine is so different because you actually see them. Any other place that we've gone, we work for days just to see a butt disappearing into the forest because that means they're hunted. So for sure, the Doucs aren't very much hunted at Sunshine. I think they are hunted some.
That's some months ago in a park in Central Highland. About 20 duck killed in one day. We are luckily for 3 years in Sơn Trà now. We do not found any duck killed, but 3 years ago there are some cases very serious in duck.
Hein is a really good example. We've got him because he was the father of somebody who first worked for us, but he was definitely a hunter. He knows exactly where the traps are. And he is now learning that he can make a predictable amount of money working in conservation.
Hồi trước là em là người Quảng Nam, sau ra Đà Nẵng năm 2000.
Trước đấy làm gì?
Trước đó là đi buôn bán, đi
vận chuyển gỗ.
Dạ. Hàng ngày thì làm theo thời tiết, nếu mà mùa đông á, thì đi cỡ 5 giờ. Nếu mà mùa hè thì đi 4 giờ 30. Thì đi trên tuyến đường để theo dõi vật nó ở và nó ăn nó như thế nào.
If we protect the ducks, that means we protect the forest. And if we protect forest, we protect other animals too. So that is duck are a flag species for other animals. If we protect the duck, we can protect other animals.
Maybe in 10 years' time, because I keep thinking in terms of 5 years' time, 10 years' time. Maybe in 10 years' time, if they survive, the people will have come to a place that they could live with them, they could protect them, and they could also make a livelihood from them. Because once you get those things working together, it's not perfect, but it seems like a better result because I know that we can't just protect this place. We have to let the people want to protect this place. And we want Vietnam to say, okay, we can do this. It's important to us now to do this.